Welcome to Module 2, Intercultural Competence. Today, we'll explore how to ensure fairness and celebrate the vibrant tapestry of our diversity. Let's embark on this training journey together, learning how to create an environment where every voice is heard and every individual feels valued. Thank you for joining us on this important path. By the end of Module 2, participants will be able to define intercultural competence, identify ways of navigating and resolving conflicts, promote inclusive leadership, and describe communication and management styles. Intercultural competence is crucial for effective interaction and collaboration across diverse cultural backgrounds. It involves understanding and respecting diverse values, beliefs, and experiences, fostering empathy, open-mindedness, and adaptable communication. This competence enhances teamwork, productivity, and innovation in global settings while promoting inclusive communities and workplaces. Understanding both cultural and intercultural competence is crucial in our diverse work environments. Cultural competence involves recognizing and respecting specific cultural norms and practices. For instance, a hotel front desk clerk who is aware of and respects the check-in customs and language preferences of international guests exemplifies this. On the other hand, intercultural competence focuses on managing and integrating diverse cultural perspectives in interactions and teamwork. An example of this is a restaurant team leader who effectively navigates and resolves communication challenges among staff from various cultural backgrounds, thereby fostering a collaborative and inclusive work environment. Both competencies are essential for enhancing our interactions and ensuring a positive experience for both staff and guests. Effective management in a company involves several key strategies. First, prioritize the regular review and updating of policies to ensure they reflect current practices and regulations while also ensuring everyone is aware of and adheres to these policies. Second, promote open dialogue by encouraging employees to openly communicate their concerns and ideas, fostering a culture of transparency within the team. Third, invest in ongoing training and education, providing staff with the knowledge they need on policies and industry trends and supporting their skill development and career growth. Fourth, effective conflict resolution strategies should be implemented to manage disputes promptly and professionally. Fifth, leadership plays a crucial role by demonstrating commitment to policies and values and providing guidance and direction to foster unity among the team. Lastly, establish feedback mechanisms to gather input from employees on your policies and work environment, using this feedback to improve operations continuously. Let's have a look at a scenario. In a restaurant, a diverse team of waitstaff and kitchen staff faces a conflict over cultural differences in serving and dining etiquette. A new waiter unintentionally offends a customer by not adhering to their cultural dining customs. To resolve this, the team holds an open staff meeting to discuss the issue, encourages sharing of cultural perspectives, and implements training sessions on various dining customs. This approach fosters mutual understanding and respect, leading to improved service and enhanced teamwork. Now, it's your turn. Think about a time when you faced differences in food preferences or service expectations among customers or staff. How did you handle these differences to ensure effective service and a positive experience for everyone? Reflect on how cultural insights could have significantly enhanced customer satisfaction in your workplace. In this slide, we will continue exploring ways to enhance our understanding of EDI practice in the workplace. Today, we have an insightful video featuring Daniela Lanher discussing inclusive leadership. Before we dive in, I encourage you to pay close attention to her perspectives on valuing diversity, creating psychological safety, and empowering team members. As you watch, think about how these ideas can be applied in our context. Afterward, we'll discuss some key questions to deepen our understanding and explore how we can incorporate these principles into our leadership practices. Let's watch the video and get ready to engage in a meaningful conversation.
Bonsoir, good evening. It's a real pleasure to be here with all of you today and talk to you about one of my favorite topics, which is psychological safety. I would like to share with you learnings from 15 years at Google and why psychological safety matters when we try to innovate, particularly at a time when we're talking about what COVID has caused in terms of disruption in many people's lives. In the organizations that we lead in, that we work in, a lot has changed. And do we still feel safe? So some of us wake up and wonder, what's my purpose? What am I doing? Why have I been doing this? And some of these questions are awakening. And are we brave enough to ask the question? I want to tell you a story. Who of you likes penguins? Show of hands. Okay, lots of hands. That's amazing to see. Great. Do you know or have an idea how penguins hunt when they're hungry, when they go catch fish? Who knows? National Geographic fans, or a few have their hands up. Okay, they have lots of strategies that they have developed. But let me tell you something else about penguins which you might not know. So when penguins get hungry, they need to eat fish. And so typically they're either on some kind of an iceberg or an island. They waddle to the edge of the iceberg or the island. And now they don't want to jump in, because if they jump in, there could be like a whale or like a leopard seal or something that will eat them. So what happens is more penguins start pushing from behind. It's like more penguins pushing, and it gets really tight, and you've probably seen this. And what happens is it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and one falls in. And then everyone stops, like, okay, don't move. So no one's moving, and they're watching. What are they looking for? They're looking to see, will this penguin emerge? Very simple feedback. Because if it doesn't, oops, probably not going to emerge at all. It gets eaten. So if it emerges, it means it's safe. And if it's safe, we can all go in, we can go and catch fish. Safe environment. Now, let's think, what do we humans do in the workplace? Imagine we're penguins. We push each other, right? Similar to penguins, we push each other. It gets tighter, tighter, tighter. Sometimes we push someone in. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Maybe it was someone else. I don't know who it was, but it wasn't me. If that penguin, human, doesn't get eaten, it's like, I pushed you in. All you needed was some courage. I gave you a shove, right? We take the credit for it. We do because we wanted to help. But if the penguin, human, gets eaten, it wasn't me. So what we do in the workplace is when we fail, when something happens not according to our plan, we take a rug, we shove it under the rug, we close it nicely, we step on it, we pretend nothing ever happened. Because what happens if we share that we failed? I probably won't get promoted. I probably won't get a higher bonus. It might damage my career, might damage my reputation. Lots of fears I have to deal with. And what I'm really looking for is to be safe. I want to be safe. I want someone to catch me when I fall. I want a leader to have my back. I want peers to have my back. I want support. I want to feel psychologically safe. But what does that even mean? Psychological safety means I feel safe to speak up. I feel safe to have a different opinion. I feel safe to think differently, to look differently, to behave differently, and to express that. I feel safe to be me. I feel safe to be connected with who I am as a human being. And I can express that, and I'm not being judged for who I am. Psychological safety is definitely not a place where I am afraid, a danger zone. That is a place I'm afraid of. It is also not a place where I get stuck and I can never move. Some people think psychological safety is a place where we feel comfortable, we are happy with each other, all is good. That place is comfortable. It's called the comfort zone. And we get nowhere in that comfort zone. We stay comfortable. That's what it is. What psychological safety is when you have someone who cares about you and has the courage to tell you what you can do better. They're able to challenge you. That means they feel safe to tell you because you will not judge them for having told you, and they will not judge you for whatever it is they're sharing with you. And that is a very beautiful thing to have. And there's this paradox that Brené Brown has shared, which is vulnerability is the first thing I'm looking for in you, and it's the last thing I'm willing to show you. Because in you it is courage, and in me, it's a weakness. And with that, how do we feel psychologically safe? So, authenticity is a very important part. If we can't be authentic, we can't be ourselves. We will just execute what we are told, what we need to do. If we don't feel safe, we will probably always be on the lookout. We will all be a bit careful and be very strategic about which risks I'm going to take. I'm not going to risk too much because I don't want to risk my promotion, my career, etc. So I'll just do what's asked of me. As a leader, if we want our people to take risks, to innovate, to try something new, we got to give them something. And that's called psychological safety. Because when we feel safe, we can lead with curiosity. Each one of us, each one of you. And when we can lead with curiosity, we're not afraid to ask questions. We're not afraid to think differently. We have courage. And when we have courage, we can share ideas. Sometimes they might be crazy ideas, but they're worth sharing. Those are ideas that spark from somewhere, that other people will take and build on. Those are ideas that will create something and co-create something with other people. This is the spark of innovation. It is the place where, in a company like Google or other places, you can go to someone and say, I love your idea. What would it look like if it was 10 times bigger, if it had 10 times more impact, if it was 10 times faster, if it was 10 times more efficient, or 50 or 100? When you take an idea and you blow it up, you make it huge and big, and you have the courage to think about it and to make it happen. This is where innovation starts to happen. And you won't do it unless you feel psychologically safe. And so when we look at Henry Ford, who invented, Ford cars, Henry Ford asked people, or thought, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So Henry Ford is someone who feels safe enough to have a crazy idea and say, let me reinvent the wheel. Let me reinvent how we solve for the way that we move from one place to another. And this is where innovation starts, when you are not bothering about being judged for not adding more horses, but for coming up with a new idea. And so when we feel psychologically safe, we can lead with curiosity. We can show our courage. We can come up with new ideas. We can co-create, build on each other. We can create sparks and start something new. And that is the birthplace of innovation. Thank you very much.
Daniela Lanher's video on inclusive leadership highlights key concepts such as diversity, inclusion, and equity, emphasizing the importance of creating psychological safety for open communication and collaboration. She discusses empowering team members through involvement in decision-making while addressing unconscious biases that may hinder inclusivity. Lanher advocates for continuous learning and leadership adaptation to foster environments where all individuals feel valued, respected, and ensuring fairness and opportunities for everyone. Let's take a moment to reflect on two important questions. Firstly, how should I communicate with my team? Think about the various communication styles within your team and how you can adapt your approach to foster clearer and more effective communication. Secondly, how can I be an equity, diversity, and inclusion leader? Consider how you can promote fairness, respect, and opportunities for all team members, regardless of background or identity. Let's explore these questions together and discuss practical ways to enhance our communication and leadership skills in these areas. In our workplace, understanding communication styles is key to effectively convey messages through verbal and non-verbal cues, tone, and responsiveness. Similarly, management styles define how our managers lead and support teams, involving decision-making, delegation, and motivation strategies. By recognizing and adapting to these diverse styles, we can enhance communication clarity and team productivity, fostering a collaborative and supportive environment. Effective communication involves using diverse channels that cater to different preferences. Some prefer synchronous methods like meetings or calls, while others favor asynchronous tools like messaging or email. This understanding enhances collaboration and idea sharing within your team. Additionally, creating feedback avenues shows genuine appreciation for employee perspectives, fostering a safe and valued workplace. To promote inclusivity, avoid hierarchical decision-making and involve a diverse range of voices in organizational decisions. Embrace radical transparency by acknowledging areas for improvement and committing to ongoing learning. By embodying principles of diversity and inclusion, leaders build trust and create an environment where all voices are heard and valued, contributing to a fair and equitable workplace. Our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion is essential for fostering a supportive workplace culture. Employers demonstrate this commitment by allocating resources, setting a strong example, and updating policies to align with EDI principles. Employees play a crucial role by actively engaging in EDI initiatives, respecting diversity in daily interactions, and applying EDI learnings from training and workshops to their work environment. Promoting diversity is crucial for fostering an inclusive workplace. Employers should diversify recruitment and leadership while supporting employee resource groups or ERGs and diverse initiatives. Establishing clear feedback mechanisms and holding leaders accountable through set metrics are essential. Employees contribute by providing feedback promptly and reporting incidents. Professional growth involves employers supporting cultural awareness training, while employees seek to understand diverse perspectives actively. Please take some time to reflect on the following questions related to Module 2. Provide thoughtful responses to each question, drawing from your own experiences and observations. Your reflections will contribute to our understanding of cultural dimensions and their impact on interpersonal interactions and teamwork. Consider writing your thoughts down on a piece of paper and feel free to hit the pause button to give yourself some time for this reflection. And hit play when you're ready to move on. Reflect on how the TEDx video on inclusive leadership has influenced your approach to driving cultural change at work. As a leader, how have your efforts toward inclusive leadership influenced cultural change within your team or organization? Can you think of specific examples of how promoting EDI has impacted the inclusivity of your team members? As a team member, how has inclusive leadership impacted the culture of your team or workplace? Can you think of examples of how leaders promoting EDI have positively influenced inclusivity and your workplace culture? Let's consider how cultural insights could greatly improve customer satisfaction in our workplace. By embracing different cultural insights, you not only enhance customer experiences, but also strengthen your ability to devise creative and effective solutions together. Congratulations on completing Module 2. Embrace what you've learned and let it guide your actions. Together, we can create a workplace where everyone feels valued and empowered. Let's continue to champion diversity, foster inclusivity, and drive positive change every day. Before we move to the next module, we'd like to acknowledge the newcomer young adults community nonprofit organizations, food and beverage operators, and sector representatives who contributed to this work. Get ready for Module 3, where we'll explore topics focusing on accountability and transparency in the workplace. Stay tuned